Is going on, everybody? It is Tuesday, April 21st, and we have some sports action: NBA, MLB, NHL, and some soccer to talk about. Not a bad night. If anything, we only lost juice in some areas, went up in multiple areas, so definitely a good day yesterday. But as always, let's start with the NBA. Diving in, 2-1 night last night. Mobley only missed. He got 8 boards. We needed 10. And then Brunson ended with 38 PRAs. We had the under 40, so good there. And Jokic only got 40 PRAs, had the under 52, so perfect. Fortunately, we did only have a half unit on the Jokic play, so only went up 0.35 units. On the season, we are now only down 2.9, so still down, which you don't love. But if you think about it, started the playoffs down 6 units. We're already only down 2. We're having a pretty good playoff streak here, so hopefully we can keep that going. Now, best bets for tonight: 76ers plus 12.5 cover versus the Celtics. This is a good bounce back spot for the 76ers. Now, do I think they win outright? Probably not, but do I think this comes down to a pretty tight game? A little bit of the 76ers bounce back, a little bit of the Celtics maybe taking the foot off the gas a little bit because such a dominant game one. They just absolutely throttled the 76ers. They may take the foot off the gas a little, if you will. So I think plus 12.5. Right now, lines are at plus 13.5. If you drop this down, it becomes plus money if you do 12.5. So 1 point probably. I mean, it does make a difference in odds, but in the game, I don't know if we're really. I mean, it'd be tough if they lose by 1, or if they lose by 13, we have the 12.5. But what are you going to do? Hopefully we can get that plus money, get a little bit value. Hopefully they only lose by 10, 8, 6, 5, something less than 12 is what we're looking for there. So that is our first best bet. Next, we're going to LeBron on the Lakers. Assuming KD plays, which signs point that he will, this will require LeBron to show up like we projected in the first game. Unfortunately, KD didn't play. Lakers kind of methodically beat them. I wouldn't say it was handedly. I think they only won by 10. It was a pretty slow-paced game. It was like 96-107 or something like that. So, pretty slow, methodical game. KD's in there. That's an extra 30 points for the Lakers. LeBron doesn't like to lose. He's just a competitive guy. So, I think he comes out 30 points. He can grab 11 rebounds, assists along the way. He gets this done pretty easily. Knowing that the Lakers have to win, and it mainly rides on him until Luka gets back. For Luka to come back, they have to make it through this series. So I think he's going to try his best to get through that, and then kind of hand the torch off to Luka when he gets back. That's our second one, and then Tyrese Maxey, same bet as before, but he's got plus odds for the exact same bet like he did before. So he cashed it for. Expect him to cash it here again. This script I was thinking with that 12.5 bounce back game for the Sixers, maybe a foot off the gas for the Celtics. That is also correct. Maxey's going to get assists. Maxey's going to have the ball in his hand a lot, and that pace is going to get pushed, especially late in the game if it is still tight. The Celtics are going to try to catch up, figure things out, try to get the win. It's going to push the pace pretty heavily. Maxey got 10 assists last time we did this at the over 6.5. I expect nothing different here. Taking the over 6.5, it's plus money on most spots right now, so definitely a good value there. Over on the diamond. So our luck continues. I don't know. It's luck. It's just bad luck. It's 2-2, which okay, we lost the juice. It's fine, not a big deal. But Ronald Acuna gets up to bat, strikes out. Gets up to bat again, gets beamed by a pitch. Gets up to bat again, gets beamed by another pitch. Doesn't come back in the game. Just unfortunate. Got hit twice, didn't return after the second hit. It's just tough. Royals, they give up a run in the top of the ninth. It's 1-0 at this point. They give up a run in the top of the ninth. Then they go to the ninth inning. The Orioles score 1. The Royals score 1. Then we go to the 10th inning. Then we go to the 12th. The Orioles score 5 runs in the top of the 12th. The Royals, on a hot streak, looks like they might come back. They score 3 in the bottom of the 12th and then hit into a double play. Yep, unfortunate. So just bad bet there. Dylan Cease, though, absolutely crushed it. Needed 8 strikeouts, got 12. pretty easy there. Wish we laddered him up on the strikeouts. That would have been good. And then our no-run first inning, we did cash. We are now 500 on the Nerfy, so looking good there. Like I said, I went down the juice. 0.3 units is the juice there. On the season, that brings us down 15.5. And we're looking to go back plus money tonight. Nationals, money line. We're going up against the Braves. Braves are throwing out Lopez, who's just returning. We haven't seen a lot from him since he's been back. I don't really know. Kind of an unknown there. Maybe they're able to get out on him. Maybe he throws an absolute gem, but willing to take the risk for the plus money on the Nationals money line. And then division rival. Unlikely they're going to get swept here. 3-game series. I expect them to pick up one of those 3 games. Why not tonight's game? Taking the Nationals money line straight up there. Then go over to Merrill Kelly. Over 17.5 strikeouts. Taking on the White Sox. And the Sox aren't exactly an offensive powerhouse, which offers Kelly the chance to go the distance. Low walk rate, low pitch count per at-bat. All kind of puts him towards an efficient outing here against the White Sox. If he can get through 6 innings, we're good to go. That's what we're looking for Merrill Kelly, over 17.5 strikeouts. Then, Vlad Guerrero of the Blue Jays, taking his over 1.5 bases. He's facing, I think it's Koshwinix, something like that. He struggled early on. Last couple outings, he's given up multiple earned runs, over 5 hits in each of the last 3 outings. Vlad, he has that pop rate to get this done in 1 hit. And the Angels bullpen, they're just not very good. There's no other way to look at it. They're just not good. So he can get this done the 7th, 8th, or 9th as well once that bullpen starts to become a factor. And lastly, our no-run first inning, now up 5-5 on the Nerfy. A's versus Mariners. No-run first inning. Castillo's pitching for the Mariners. Lopez for the A's. Both teams not the strongest, most consistent offenses. So I think just getting through that first running, Castillo definitely a solid pitcher. Lopez is hit or miss, depends how he comes out, but just not the strongest offenses is more what we're leaning against here. So hopefully we get that no-run first inning back into a positive and go 6-5 on the season there. We've got NHL playoff hockey. Recapping last night, the Wild Stars, they hit the over, unfortunately. We had them on the under. They get 6. We needed under 5.5. It is unfortunate. I would expect the Stars to be a little bit more dominant on defense. The Stars minus 1.5 spread was probably a little bit better pick because both these teams can certainly score. So taking them to win by 2, which they did, probably would have been better off. But hindsight 2020, go learn from it, go forward. And then Oilers only ended up winning by 1, so they didn't cover the spread there. Penguins didn't even score. I don't know what's going on in Pittsburgh, but that Pennsylvania series is all Philly so far. And the saves prop for Anderson going against Senators, cashed that. Looked a little scary in the second. Came out of there with only like 11, 12 saves, but as the Senators did in Game 1, they started ripping shots in the third period, which I don't know if anybody wants to tell them, but it's a little late when you're down 3-0 and you start just ripping shots in the third, but maybe they'll figure it out one day. Fortunately, though, 1-3 went down 2.24 units, and on the season, we are up 4.41 still. So, still looking good there. Obviously, we don't like losing days, but those things will happen. Now, bets for tonight. Pasternak over 0.5 assists. We're not looking at points, looking at assists specifically. Buffalo, they're likely selling out to cover him not scoring, which opens up some passing lanes, open up, maybe they converge on him, gets him in there, maybe a double assist. He's certainly functional enough to be involved in that offense. That is their main piece. So whether he's scoring or assisting, we're just looking at assists hopefully tonight, and he can get that done. Then Jurov Slavkovsky over 0.5 points, taking on the Lightning. He's their top line in the power play. He's their crucial part of their offense, and even in the 5v5 scenarios, hoping him just points here. He doesn't necessarily need to score, but within that trio of that top line, I expect him to get involved, whether it's assists or the goal scorer. 0.5 points hitting the over there. Should be no problem at all for him. Then we go to the Avalanche versus the Kings. This should have cashed in Game 1. They let up a power play goal with less than 2 minutes left, and the Kings looked defeated. So it was just a blunder on the Avalanche part. I expect same thing. With it not being a blowout, with it being a 2-1, with it being, I mean, the Kings just didn't look like they were playing the same game. So I expect the Avalanche to come out here, basically do the same thing, and just have a little bit more luck on getting the puck past the goal line. Maybe not have a defensive crash with 2 minutes left in the game. That would definitely help out here. But Avalanche cover -1.5 versus the Kings. And then you guys know the bet. Mammoths versus Knights over 6.5. Don't really need an explanation. We've been doing it all season. Mammoths involved. Hit the over. They give up a lot and they score a lot, so they're afraid of the over. This is actually plus money in a lot of books. Obviously, there's always the chance it goes under, but I mean, we're probably like 15-3 on the over with Mammoths, so I'm just gonna keep riding it until it stops working. So Mammoths over the night. Mammoths versus Knights hitting the over. There you go. Now, we did have a pretty unique day. We went 1-0 on the day with the Crystal Palace game. I'm drawing a blank on who they were playing, but they went 1-0, went up 0.95 units. We did have 2 bets, but they tied, so that bet pushed because we had a money line, no tie bet option. So Crystal Palace to win with no tie bet. If it tied, it pushed, which is what happened, and then they stayed under because it was 0-0. So they definitely stayed under 2.5 goals. So went up 0.95 on the season. We are down 0.25, but it's only been 2 days. We lost first day, won this day, basically about even, lost the juice. So that's kind of what we're playing with so far. Now, best bets for today, a little bit more interesting slate. Taking the Chelsea money line, tie no bet. So the same thing as yesterday. If they tie, it pushes, but we're hoping Chelsea can come out upright with a win. Taking on Brighton today. Chelsea's the one who's always able to they're able to beat any team. They're involved in any game. Same kind of team production as yesterday with that tie. And I think Chelsea's just able to get it done. It's basically flip a coin. Slight favorites of Brighton, but I think it should be more of a pick 'em, and I'm picking Chelsea. So that's where we're going there. Now, Atletico Bilbao on the 3-way money line. So tie is an option here. They're taking on Osasuna, but I'm taking them to win the money line. They're heavy favorites, and with the tie, the 3-way money line being involved, it just increases the odds a little bit. Obviously, if they tie, we lose the bet. That's kind of the thing you trade off here. But I think they come out 3-1, 2-1. I think they're able to get this win handedly. And I'm just boosting the odds by increasing that 3-way money line, so that way we get a little bit better price on them. I don't hate the team total in there. I did have a note on that. But I do think the odds on the favorite are better. The team total, I think, was over 2.5, and it was like -150, -155. This is the 3-way money line. Just need them to win. It was -115 at the time I bet it. So I think that's a little bit better play, a little bit more value. Then, last bet of the day and of soccer, Real Madrid. Team total over 2.5 goals. They're taking on Alaves. Madrid, clear favorite here. If you take them on the money line, it's like -400 right now. Kind of insane. Many weapons. They're able to score 2, 3, 4 goals against the best teams in the league, let alone somebody that they're clear favorites against. So I think over 2.5 goals should be no problem. The only thing I see being a problem here is they are clear favorites. They probably know that, and we may see a lackluster performance, 1-0 win here, which would be unfortunate. But they come out, they play like they typically do, and they go out there and they just dominate like they're supposed to. Over 2.5 goals should be no problem for Real Madrid. Those are our best bets for Tuesday, April 21st. Let me know in the comments what you like, what you don't like, if you're tailing, and anything else you guys got going on. And until tomorrow,